Hey y'all, it's your girl Meg Thompson of eXp Realty, Louisville, Kentucky. And this evening, I just wanted to give you a quick update of the real estate market and just kind of give you an idea of where things are. Okay. So remember, you can connect with me via my website, megsaleslouisville.com. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and both of those are Megan Thompson hyphen Realtor. And as always, please don't forget to subscribe below. And if you prefer to email, by all means, send an email to megsaleslouisville@gmail.com. Okay. Now, before we begin, I want to clarify that the information expressed in this video is based on the opinion of the presenter. Okay. Y'all, this is my opinion. Some of this stuff is facts, like the numbers, things like that. Facts. A lot of that stuff just what your girl think, okay? Just being honest. Don't hold me to it. Don't fault me for it. If you think I said something wrong or I ain't give no right information, here, let's talk about it. But I'm pretty sure I gave you some solid information, okay? So currently, as of this evening, and this is based on Jefferson County, Kentucky, we have 1,103 active listings, 1,416 pending listings, and a cumulative days on market, the average is 18 days. Okay. So, what that means is by cumulative days on market, because you may come across this where you see some things just say days on market, some things say cumulative days on market. So, I like to use cumulative days on market because, say, for instance, if I put a house on the market, it's active, it goes under contract, something happens with the buyer, they can't get their financing together, I have to put the home back on the market. Well, that switch on and off. So I had it on, took it off. That's like days on market. Cumulative days on market counts when I had it on, took it off, put it back on until it goes off, until it closes. Okay. I just like, just for clarity, truth, honesty, I like cumulative days on market. Okay. So that's the information I typically will give y'all. So the average cumulative days on market for our area in Jefferson County is 18. Okay. The average sales price is 267,000 and the median sales price is 230,000. Now, it may have been a long time since some of y'all have been in math, okay? So the average, as you know, you take all the sales divided by the total number of sales. That's how you get the average price, okay? When you're talking about the median, that's if I listed every single sales price and which price falls in the middle. Okay. So as you can tell, the average and the median are close to each other, but not quite. Okay. You got about a little like about a $37,000 difference. Okay. Now, if you want to get a specific information or some, a different area outside of Jefferson County, so like if you're interested in Bullitt County, something like that, by all means, send me an email at megsaleslouisville@gmail.com and I would be more than happy to get that information over to you. So now let's talk interest rates, okay, y'all? So currently, the average mortgage interest rate for a 30-year mortgage is 3%. And it actually just went up. So for the past couple of weeks, it had actually stayed under 3%, but it finally just went a little over 3%. Now that's with the 30-year. Now, if you can get a 20-year mortgage, your average interest rate is about 2.85%. So you can definitely save yourself some money in the long run if you can bring that loan down and not do the traditional 30-year, but maybe a 20-year. And then if even if you can get to a 15-year, I believe that the 15-year is roughly about 2.33% right now. So that can even save you more. So sometimes if you're buying something and say if it's like 100,000, if you could really afford it, go ahead and do the 15 years, save yourself some money and go ahead and get that house paid off. You know what I'm saying? Now, one thing that keeps coming up in conversation, and at least a couple of times a week, okay? I'm not saying I get to ask this question every day, but I'm saying at least a couple of times a week is if I think the home prices are going to go down. So let me clarify. My answer is honestly a little twofold, okay? Because one thing I like to make clear is that the real estate market on its own is truly a volatile market, okay? It's just a volatile industry. It's definitely driven by social as well as economic factors. So if you think about it, if economically people are not doing well, people cannot afford to pay their mortgages, they may end up in default, things like that. Things are going great, people are bad, things they spending money, they paying their mortgage, things the economy is doing great. Real estate tends to do great. Okay, so one thing to keep in mind, like if you're thinking about whether you're trying to become a buyer, an investor, it doesn't matter. One thing you have to consider is that this market is volatile. So just because it is up right now does not mean it will never, ever, ever go down again. Okay. Now, to the original question, do I think that home prices are going to go back down? My honest answer is I don't think so. At least not anytime soon. So homes have been flying off the market, right? As we've all seen it. Home goes up on a Monday, 20 offers on a Monday, it's gone. You can't even get off work to go see the house, basically. The reason for that is because buyers are becoming more and more prepared. Okay. As buyers have seen this market, they've seen what has happened, they've seen how homes have been flying off. Us as agents have been telling them this, but they are also starting to see it on their own that when they are stepping into this game of ready to purchase, they have to be ready to fully um, commit to the purchase. Like they have to have all their T's crossed, all their I's dotted. Everything has to be taken care of up front. And because it's like they just know they don't have the luxury. Buyer does not have the luxury to be unprepared or unorganized because the home that they're trying to buy, and that home already got 10 other offers on it. So if I'm coming to the table, I'm not together, my financing, I haven't fully secured it, things like that. The seller could say, you know what? Pump your brakes, baby girl. We finna go ahead and go somewhere else and take up another offer because that person came prepared to the table. So as buyers have started to realize that they have come to the table prepared. And then also something else that I'm seeing more and more often are my lenders. Like my lenders and other lenders as well. I'm not just saying man, it's the best of the best, even though they great. But more and more lenders are doing a lot of pre-qualification up front. Okay. They're collecting the tax documents, they're collecting the employment histories, and they're also asking more questions. So it's like a lender is trying to paint the picture that the underwriter is going to paint. And in case you've forgotten what the underwriter is, they are the person that makes sure and ensure that those T's are crossed and those I's are dotted, and this is a solid loan. Like, your employment ain't shaky, things like that. They are the third party. Remember, you generally will not communicate with this person. They will communicate with the lender if they need additional information, and they'll let you know that they need additional information. But you generally don't talk to the underwriter. They are an unbiased third party. When they look at your file, you are a number. They're looking at the numbers to make sure that the story adds up, which is great because they have not met your kids, they haven't met your family, they just haven't fallen in love with you. You are simply numbers at that point. Do the numbers make sense? Yes or no? And then um the other thing that I think has to be considered as well is that a lot of these homes that had flown off of the market had escalation clauses in. Okay. One thing to consider, and in case you didn't know, let me go ahead and back that up. An escalation clause says that you will pay up to X amount for a home. So for example, I got a house on the market for 200,000. You send me an offer for 210, but you send an escalation clause that you're going to pay up to 220. Now this escalation clause can get very complicated. It can get complicated in the sense that you're going to pay up to 220 in $2,000 increments. So if somebody comes with 211, you'll come back with 213 off front. They don't have to check with you. They don't have to ask you a question. By default, that's what you're going to do up until 220. Okay. I personally, I am not a fan of escalation clauses. Okay. And the reason I am not a fan of them myself, and it's just because I feel like let's not play the game. Hell, if you're gonna offer me 220, offer 220. Let's not play the game on the whole escalation clause and tiptoe do the dance. Like if you're gonna play the game, play the game. That's just how I am. Now, if a client wants me to write one, by all means, I will write one. I will throw that offer out there. That's just not my cup of tea, and it's not something I'm a fan of. Okay. Now, you also have to remember that if I am getting financing, I can say I'm going to pay you up to 220, but if I need 100% financing, well, that house still has to appraise for 220, what I offered you. If it appraises for 210, my lender is only going to give me 210. So somebody has to pay that $10,000 difference. In some cases, we may not get to that 220. In some cases, I may say, well, I'm gonna get a gift from my parents. They're gonna give, me it's a wedding gift. They're gonna give us a $10,000 gift. And then that's how I'm gonna pay the difference. But that is something you have to consider as well. So you don't know. You know what the home may have closed for, but you don't know necessarily how the deal was worked out. So with that being said, it's not to say that every home, all these homes are appraising for more than what they're worth and way over. I've seen a lot of the appraisals coming in within the range of the list price of the home. It may be a few thousand here or there, but for the most part, they're coming in on list price, unless the home was overpriced to begin with, because that's something else to consider. Because sometimes when you have seen homes fly off the market in the way that they have flown off, you may think I can sell my home for whatever, but there's still a limit. So, in keeping everything in line and thinking about everything and considering all the factors, I just don't think that home prices are going to go back down in the way that people are expecting. Like, I think people are expecting like that crash, they gonna catch a deal. Like, no, these are solid loans, solid homes, solid buyers. Like, people are coming prepared. So, in considering that, you have to think the market is kind of catching up. And I feel like for our area, we are catching up a little bit because the price of homes in our area have been less than a lot of other places. So I think we are getting there. I don't think they're coming back down. If you disagree, by all means, feel free to disagree. But I'm just telling you what I think, and I done gave you the reasons why. Okay, I'm not just looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the social factors, the economic factors, the process that's going on, how the offers are coming in. And I'm gonna tell you, I have seen and heard of some crazy offers for real. Like people have offered weeks in their vacation homes. Like, hey, I got a vacation home in Florida. I will throw in a month. You know what I'm saying? People are getting wild on some of these offers. So keep some of that in mind when looking at the real estate market and where you want to join, whether you're a first time home buyer, second time home buyer, you're looking for a vacation home, an investment property, whatever that is, kind of just take a step back and look at the market and the whole thing as a whole, not just little pieces. But And as I said before, you can always connect with me on my website, y'all, megsaleslouisville.com. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Megan Thompson Realtor. And if you want to chat, send me an email, megsaleslouisville@gmail.com. And as always, do not forget to subscribe below, y'all. Okay, make sure you click that subscribe button so you can be notified. See y'all in a couple of weeks.